In the heat of the race, one candidate takes a tumble. What we're learning about presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's pneumonia diagnosis and how it's affecting her fight to the White House.
A piece of international history right here in West Michigan. How much do you know about the iconic windmill in Holland?
This truly is a working machine built to serve a community.
Why this local treasure is just as productive as it is beautiful.
And a big fin falling from the sky. Hear this woman's fishtail? Sure to make you look up next time you're out at the lake. Today is Monday, September 12th.
Live, local breaking news. You're watching News Channel 3, live at 5.
You know, we have 40s in parts of West Michigan. We'll show you where in a moment. 5 a.m. on the nose. And good morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Porter. 53 in Battle Creek. Yeah, 49 right now. Charlotte, Eaton County. Hastings, you're at 52. So cool, refreshing, dry weather out the door this morning. Here's your Monday Fastcast. 72 and sunny at 12 o'clock, up to 78 at 5 p.m. That is 8 degrees warmer than your Sunday, and we will be breezy. Rip currents at the lake shore, but not everywhere. Marcy will show you where zone by zone in 5 minutes.
Two giant beams of light honoring those who lost their lives on 9/11 15 years ago. The beams from 88 searchlights at the September 11th memorial represent the Twin Towers. Yesterday, people across the nation paid tribute to the attack that changed America forever. Now, Hillary Clinton was at one of yesterday's memorial ceremonies when she was forced to leave. We now know the Democratic presidential nominee has been diagnosed with pneumonia. Jessica Wheeler is live in the newsroom with the new issue that's likely to take center stage in the final weeks of the 2016 presidential campaign. Jessica.
Marcy, Hillary Clinton has canceled a two-day fundraiser trip to California after being diagnosed with pneumonia. It's adding more fuel to the questions about her health. Her doctor says the 68-year-old was diagnosed with pneumonia on Friday, although the illness was not publicly revealed until Clinton stumbled yesterday when leaving that 9/11 ceremony at Ground Zero. Clinton went to her daughter's Manhattan apartment for a few hours after the incident and then headed home to her suburban home not far from New York City. Her doctor issued a statement saying, quote, "While at this morning's event, she became overheated and dehydrated. I've examined her and she is now rehydrated and recovering nicely." CBS chief medical correspondent says that she was likely wobbly after her blood pressure and pulse dropped from standing in hot and humid weather for more than an hour.
It all depends on how severe it is and on the underlying health of the patient. Mrs. Clinton's physicians have placed her on antibiotics, implying they think bacteria are involved. Still, we don't have much information, including what tests have been done. For example, what her chest x-ray shows. Her physician advised her to rest, a tough prescription in the heat of a presidential campaign.
Donald Trump so far has not commented about Clinton's illness, but in the past, the Republican nominee has repeatedly questioned whether the opponent has the strength to be president and the stamina to take on terrorists. He returns to the campaign trail today after taking a day off to pay tribute to the victims of the September 11th terror attacks. Meanwhile, as Clinton takes a few days off, the latest CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows the race is tightening in Florida. Clinton holds just a 2-point lead there. In Ohio, another key battleground state, Clinton has a 7-point lead. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jessica Wheeler, News Channel 3.
The September 11th attacks continue to affect people across America, including in West Michigan. Jack Vanderbond says his life has never been the same since. He found out his stepdaughter was on board one of the hijacked planes. The 89-year-old vividly recalls the pain of losing Barbara Edwards on American Airlines Flight 77 when it crashed into the Pentagon. He's tried to move on, but time hasn't healed his broken heart.
It seemed like it's such a short time, 15 years. It don't seem like it's 15 years.
Barbara Edwards left behind 3 children.
Police are trying to figure out who killed a West Michigan man in an early morning shooting outside a business in Holland. We now know Kalamazoo mass shooting survivor Tiana Carruthers is identifying the victim as her half-brother. Ottawa County deputies tell us they were called to the 900 block of Butternut Drive around 3 a.m. Sunday morning for shots fired. As for deputies say, they found 22-year-old Anthony Lamb dead in the parking lot. Carruthers took to social media on Sunday, posting pictures of her half-brother, expressing her disbelief and sadness. Right now, we're told there are no suspects.
Today, a former Albion detective accused of helping a friend charged with child pornography run from police is facing a judge. The preliminary hearing for Luis Tejada will resume today in Calhoun County. In July, we found out Norman Pittlecow, who calls Tejada his best friend, says the former detective tipped him off to a police investigation into allegations that Pittlecow and his fiancée were making child pornography. Police say Pittlecow moved across the country calling Tejada on disposable phones. Tejada is charged with being an accessory to the crime.
And 2 people are waking up in the hospital after a small plane crash in Montcalm County. Michigan State Police tell us a Piper airplane crashed as it was taking off from Greenville Municipal Airport yesterday afternoon. The troopers say 2 men were on board, a 24-year-old and a 29-year-old, both from Illinois. They were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. No word yet on exactly what happened, but the FAA is investigating.
Right now, officials in Marshall are debating whether to upgrade or remove a 124-year-old hydroelectric dam. The city owns and operates the dam on the Kalamazoo River. Federal investigators found the structure needs significant improvements. The dam generates less than 1% of Marshall's electric power. There are concerns that fixing the dam would require lowering water levels, exposing sediment contaminated with heavy metals over the years. Officials are asking engineering firms to come up with some ideas.
Kirk, thank you. 5:06 on the clock. We always hope you're on time, and we're going to be at your bus stop in about 10 minutes. Right now, the latest sweeps live Doppler radar looking wonderful for a Monday morning. Simply, we are dry. Let's move to the lakeshore where Holland and northward will contend with rip currents today. Waves maybe around, if not bigger than 5 feet. And we want to break down your Monday, your back to work, your back to school Monday, zone by zone. Kalamazoo 78. Oh, we're going to love it. Three Rivers 79, Dowagiac 79, Coldwater 79, Battle Creek 78. All right, marginally cooler lakeshore. Remember again, rip currents, Holland and northward, Saugatuck 76. Let's take you down the lakeshore 76. South Haven, St. Joe, Silver Beach 77, Benton Harbor. The earliest arrival of rain on Tuesday. Marcy, we're going to tell you what time, hour by hour, in 10.
Health advocates are waiting for a decision in the Michigan House on plans to add CPR training in schools. The bill would require schools provide CPR instruction and instruction on the use of defibrillators at least one time between 7th and 12th grade. The legislation cleared in the Senate in the spring. It's now waiting for a vote in the House. Supporters hope lawmakers will vote this month before breaking again to focus on the November election.
More arrests are made in Paris as investigators work to figure out who's behind a thwarted attack at Notre Dame Cathedral. Why the latest suspect is younger than most. Plus, are you hip to the groove thing? The words and phrases getting ready to phase out of everyday talk. With every generation comes a new wave of slang, and if you're pretty hip with it, you keep up.
But one organization has a new campaign to preserve some endangered American words and phrases.
The Dictionary of American Regional English been working on this project since 1965, looking at dialect from across the country.
Now, here are some of the 50 crazy words and phrases that are at risk of extinction. Bonnie Clabber. You ever heard of this?
Not till right now.
Me neither. It's thick or sour milk. Ear screw, that's an earring, that makes sense. Farmer match, a wooden match. Nasty neat, that means over tidy.
You have very nice ear screws this morning, by the way. Sewing needle, that's a dragonfly. Goose drowner, that's heavy rain. Sonsie, cute, charming, lively. Spin street yarn, that means to gossip.
We got to bring these things back before they disappear.
I think we can do without them. We'll
You
survive.
think so, Bonnie Clabber? I mean, that sounds terrible. Nobody needs that stuff, right? More than a dozen football players are rushed to the hospital after their bus crashes at the airport. What happened on board moments before that's stumping investigators. Plus, it was a day of remembrance as the United States honored the lives lost 15 years ago on September 11th. But with the patriotism came protest, who used the day to spread their message.
This morning, crews are fighting a massive wildfire in Washington state. Officials say the fire's already burned 500 acres, forcing evacuations for homes in Okanagan County. It stretches 230 yards and is surrounded by other fires. There's no word right now if any homes are destroyed.
A school bus driver is killed and others seriously injured after a bus veers off the roadway at Denver International Airport and crashes into a concrete pillar. Police say the driver circled back to the airport after picking up members of the high school football team. That's when she crashed into the pillar. The driver died at the scene. Up to 20 passengers were taken to nearby hospitals, 2 of them critical, 2 serious, and 1 in fair condition.
We're learning this morning the death toll in an explosion and fire at a packaging factory is climbing to 31. It happened over the weekend in Bangladesh when a boiler exploded. Rescue crews recovered the bodies of 6 more people early this morning. At least 8 workers are still missing.
A 15-year-old boy is waking up behind bars in Paris this morning. French police say they arrested the boy to thwart what they fear was a planned weekend attack. Saturday, police moved in on what officials call a group of female commandos. They were arrested after an aborted attack on Notre Dame Cathedral. A crude car bomb was found just blocks away. 7 people were arrested. Now, Sunday, the prime minister warned that 15,000 people in the country could be in the process of being radicalized.
South Korea officials are issuing a warning this morning. They say North Korea is capable of conducting another nuclear test at any time. This statement comes just days after the country carried out its 5th atomic bomb test. Right now, officials say they have no evidence to point to another imminent launch, but sources tell them North Korea is preparing a new test site.
And the EPA now testing homes in Nevada after a mercury spill at a high school. This is a story we first told you about last week. Officials say they're still in the dark about how the toxic spill ended up there, but they are more concerned with whether it spread to students' homes. 1,400 students have been screened and cleared by health officials. The incident happened 2 weeks ago, but was not investigated until nearly a week later.
They were playing with it with their hands, their folders in their backpacks, their shoes, everything, and the teacher just kind of brushed it off like it wasn't a big deal.
Emergency teams say they're finding that students' homes are safe. Classes will remain closed today. High mercury exposure can harm the brain, heart, kidneys, and the immune system.
Sunday wasn't just time for football. It marked 15 years to the day of the September 11th attacks. As Hannah Daniels shows us, it was a day of patriotism and protests.
In a show of solidarity and tribute to victims of the September 11th terror attacks, the Seattle Seahawks stood and linked arms during the national anthem before their season opener against the Miami Dolphins.
We want to honor those lives that have been lost 15 years ago on this tragic day, and also honor those who have sacrificed their lives for the freedom that we cherish. We want to ensure that freedom and the security and justice for all people.
During the same game, 4 Miami Dolphins kneeled on the sideline with hands on their hearts as the Star-Spangled Banner played. Their coach talked after the game.
You know, it's their opinion, it's their right, and, you know, my job is to coach the football team.
A number of athletes have followed the lead of 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick, who has chosen to sit out the national anthem in order to bring attention to racial inequality. On Sunday, the Kansas City Star reported that team cornerback Marcus Peters raised a black-gloved fist during the song. And before the game against the Arizona Cardinals, 2 New England Patriots raised their right fists after the anthem was played. One show of patriotism by New York Giants Odell Beckham and Victor Cruz could have them paying up. The 2 players could face fines by the NFL for wearing unsanctioned footwear as they played in commemorative cleats showing the American flag and a tribute to the FDNY. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
The NFL could fine the players $6,000 for wearing those patriotic cleats. Police unions around the country are vowing to pay the fines if they are enforced.
Kirk, thank you. Almost 5:20 on the clock, and we got a great Monday ahead of us. Bathed in sunshine and a afternoon warm-up that looks like the upper 70s. Right around 80 on Tuesday. Any rain really slated to the very end of the day, and we'll wake up with thunderstorms on Wednesday, trending drier Wednesday afternoon. Look how wonderful we are set in motion here at 8 a.m. Sunshine, 55 degrees. Close to 60 at 9 a.m., 62, 10 a.m. For lunch on the menu, 72. Lots of blue skies, baby blues. Some casual cumulus this afternoon, 76, 3 p.m. 78 at 4 p.m. The evening drive, you'll need your shades, 77, 5 p.m. Latest version of Hour by Hour, we're crunching some brand new model information. Clear skies, lower and middle 60s, mid to late morning. 12 o'clock, we break 70 with sunshine. That's true throughout West Michigan. A lot of wind this afternoon. Winds coming out of the south, southwest, in part off of Lake Michigan. That will fuel rip currents, Holland and northward, and escalated waves. 76 Hastings, 3 p.m. Let's take it to 5 p.m. Staying in Hastings, 77. So flirting with 80 degrees. Nice kind of flirting on a Monday, right? Monday night, well, sunset 7:56. We have clear skies prior to midnight. After midnight and early tomorrow, we'll encourage some cloud cover, and that'll be coincident with the chance for a shower or two north of Muskegon, 10 a.m. Best chance for showers tomorrow in the afternoon, and north of Kalamazoo, this is 5 p.m. late in the day on Tuesday. These, of course, are your brand new work week headlines today. Our warm-up looks like, well, about 8 degrees warmer than Sunday, noticeably warmer. Remember our rip currents at the lakeshore. Best chance for any kind of legitimate rain end of the day tomorrow north of Kalamazoo. We wake up with some rain Wednesday with some rumbles. Model rainfall amounts looking like about 1/4 of an inch. Why don't we check in with our Live Eye Camera Network on a Monday morning. We are on Easy Street in Battle Creek. No problems here. Dry roads looking nice in Battle Creek. Why don't go south and west, take it to St. Joe County, Three Rivers, 53 degrees. Light winds, humidity 95%. It feels like 53. And around West Michigan we go. South Haven, 58. Allegan, 54. Dowagiac right now, 52. How about Niles, Michigan-Indiana line, Berrien County, 54 degrees. Around and around we go, right? Latest sweeps, live Doppler radar, perfect. We toss in satellite radar information together throughout the Great Lakes. We look fine all the way to the Mackinac Bridge in Petoskey on a Monday. And we go to your bus stop, maybe a light jacket. We'll leave all that up to you, though. Lower 70s for lunch and recess, 78 at the end of your school day. Hope it's a great Monday in your classroom to teachers, students, and staff. All right, here we go. To your forecast. Enjoy today and keep your shades close by. Lots of sun, 78. There are your winds, southeast to southwest, raucous to 25 miles per hour. Well, winds relax a little bit tonight. Some clouds moving in after midnight, 58. Your old National Bank 7-day forecast. Our highest confidence in rain out of the next 7 days is Wednesday. Wednesday, 72. Thursday, a little fall preview. 40s in the morning, crisp sunshine, 70 in the afternoon. You know, Kirk and Marcy, any rain on Friday, really not till Friday night. So most of your Friday looks great.
And we don't have the palm trees, Marcy, but today and tomorrow, that's pretty Maui-like, is it not, temperature-wise?
Yeah, minus the mountains, and I mean, we've got the beaches. We've got those, so.
Welcome back from your honeymoon.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
And congratulations.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Jeff. You may find yourself there a few times a week, but what do you know about your West Michigan grocery store, where you can learn about how Meijer became a Sunday hotspot? And if you're looking to cut loose, we know of a place where you can catch a Hollywood favorite paired with his delicious namesake treat. Honoring a West Michigan favorite's history, Meijer opened a museum at his Kent County headquarters, telling the story of the company's 82-year history. Starting out as a small store in Greenville, Meijer has grown to more than 200 stores in 6 states and employs more than 60,000 people. Doug Meijer says his father and grandfather took a big risk during the Depression and wanted to share this success story with the public.
Kirk, thanks. And success at the Lakeshore on a Monday looks like this. Quiet weather, clear skies. Great visibilities of stars this morning if you have a chance to look up. 54 degrees, Holland. And we're working with a southerly wind, 6 miles per hour. That southerly wind becoming slightly southwesterly, stiffening during the day, so that will generate rip currents. Holland and northward all the way through, well, roughly this time tomorrow morning. So that's a big story for parts of the lakeshore. Specifically, your Monday lakeshore forecast, south-southwest winds, 25 knots. That functions like about 30 miles per hour. Your waves on order of about 3 to 5 feet. Later today, how much warmer will be than the weekend? That's coming up at 5:30.
And when we think about bacon, everybody obviously thinks about Kevin Bacon when they see or smell bacon.
Teen heartthrob or delicious breakfast treat. There's plenty of bacon to go around, at least in the town of Vermont, Brattleboro. The city is posting pictures of a cardboard cutout of movie star Kevin Bacon. Their hope is that flat bacon, as they call it, brings the real bacon to their annual Bacon Fest. It's the celebration of all things bacon. The Brattleboro Bacon Fest kicks off September 17th.
I'm hungry now.
Are you?
Thank you for mentioning bacon 1,000 times.
And I see your feet moving too.
Oh, yes, little
Right?
Footloose reference.
Yeah,
Very
why
nice.
not? Oh, when you think of this West Michigan town, you likely go right to the windmill, the untold past of the decades-old international treasure. And it's still one of the most talked about unsolved murders 20 years later. JonBenet Ramsey's brother is speaking out for the first time. It's something you'll only see on News Channel 3, why he says he had to break his silence.
You're watching News Channel 3. I'm Kirk Mason here with Marcy Kobringer. Now you're live at 5:30. Top 3 stories. Police trying to figure out who killed a West Michigan man in an early morning shooting outside a business in Holland. Ottawa County deputies say it happened in the 900 block of Butternut Drive at around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. They found 22-year-old Anthony Lamb dead in the parking lot. He's since been identified as the half-brother of Kalamazoo mass shooting survivor Tiana Carruthers.
A former Albion detective accused of helping a friend charged with child pornography run from police is facing a judge. The preliminary hearing for Luis Tejada will continue today in Calhoun County. In July, the suspect, Norman Piddlecow, says his friend Tejada tipped him off that he and his fiancée were being investigated, leading him to move across the country. Tejada has been charged with being an accessory to the crime.
2 people are recovering this morning in the hospital following a small plane crash in Montcalm County. State police say a Piper airplane crashed as it was taking off from Greenville Municipal Airport yesterday afternoon. Troopers say 2 men from Illinois were on board. They were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Investigators will now work to learn what caused this crash.
Thanks. 53 degrees in Battle Creek. We'll take you there in a moment. First, we're in Grand Rapids, checking out the S-curve on a Monday morning, problem-free. Grand Rapids Live Eye. Yeah, there's your 53 in Cereal City. Hastings, a cooler 50. 54 right now, Allegan and Holland. When you're having lunch, we look gorgeous. Sunshine, 72 degrees. 78 at 5 p.m., about 8 degrees warmer than Sunday, and we are breezy all day long. How much cooler will be at the Lakeshore later today? Marcy, we go zone by zone in a couple of minutes.
A 6-year-old boy is taken to the hospital in critical condition after he's hit by an SUV. Kalamazoo County deputies tell us the boy was riding a motorized scooter in front of his house on East JK Avenue in Comstock Township. They say a 16-year-old driver was behind the wheel when the boy rode in front of the vehicle. The driver didn't see the boy. He was hit, then rushed to the hospital. We've reached out to the sheriff's office to find out how the boy is doing this morning. A 21-year-old Kalamazoo man involved in a crash in Indiana has died. Indiana State Police say Alfonso Balboa II was a backseat passenger in a pickup truck that crashed on I-94 near Gary Friday night. Troopers say the driver, 21-year-old Luis Diaz of Kalamazoo, lost control in a heavy downpour, hit a guardrail, and then the truck rolled. Balboa, who was not wearing a seatbelt, was thrown from the truck and it landed on top of him. He died Saturday afternoon. Diaz and 2 other passengers, also from Kalamazoo, suffered non-life-threatening injuries.
At least 5 people are hurt when shots are fired into a crowd near Saginaw Valley State University. Investigators say about 1,000 people were at a party just across the street from the university when the shooting happened at around 2 o'clock Sunday morning. Right now, police are searching for 2 suspects. The 5 hurt all suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The university says they are not students. The campus was placed on lockdown for a short time. Fake money marked for movies is circulating in Kalamazoo. Public safety officers tell us they're investigating 4 separate cases. They say there are 20s and 100s that are high quality and look real, even though they are marked for motion picture use only. Police are investigating but have no suspects at this time.
U.S. Senator Gary Peters heads to Lansing today to send off new military recruits. Peters will join new service members and their families at the Lansing Military Entrance Processing Station today at 11:30. There, they'll then send off a new Army and Marine recruits as they begin basic training. After they leave, Peters will tour the facility and meet with staff.
Marcy, next sun coming up 7:19, zone by zone. We'll dial it up for you in a moment. How about latest sweeps on a Monday, live Doppler radar? Well, they look wonderful. Simply, we are dry in West Michigan on a Monday. That's like a gift, right? Got all sorts of things going on a Monday. Speaking of things going on, rip currents, top of mind, Holland and Northward at the Lakeshore this time through about 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. No swimming, Holland and Northward. Why don't we just go to the Lakeshore for a moment? We'll call it nominally or slightly cooler than your inland friends. That looks like a bunch of 76s for your afternoon high temperature. temperatures, Holland, Douglas, Saugatuck, just to name a few. How much rain? We have specific rainfall amounts Tuesday through Wednesday morning. Kirk, that's at about 10.
If you've been to Holland, you've probably seen the iconic windmill at the Windmill Gardens. But did you know it's one of a kind in many ways? Jessica Wheeler visited the mill to learn the unique stories behind it. Jessica.
Yeah, Kirk, in the 1960s, the Netherlands passed legislation to stop their historic windmills from being removed from the country. Holland, Michigan got the very last one, and it's now home to a piece of history that's still in working order, and the person running the mill is just as rare.
When they're in motion, a lot of power, a lot of torque.
Elisa Crawford gives tours daily of the Deswan windmill.
This mill became the last windmill to be allowed to leave the Netherlands, and that year was 1964.
For more than 50 years, those blades have been seen on the Holland horizon, but not many people know they're still functional.
This truly is a working machine built to serve a community.
Every year, Crawford uses the windmill to grind up thousands of pounds of grains the old-fashioned way, bagging them by hand and selling the products here at the Windmill Gardens. It's a process she spent years perfecting, first learning to speak Dutch and then living in the Netherlands to study, joining an elite group.
Today I'm proud to be a part of a guild, which is, in Dutch we'd say the Ambachtelijke Korenmillers Gilde, and that's the Professional and Traditional Grain Millers Guild.
That guild has just 45 people. All but Crawford are men.
And I'm the only one outside of the Netherlands, so everyone else is back there in the home country.
Crawford hopes to use her unique position to inspire other women and young people to pursue their dreams, no matter how far-fetched they might be.
To remind them that if there's something that you're really interested in and you're passionate about, you need to just go for it.
Now, Crawford is a journeyman in the Millers Guild. She has to have that rank for 10 years before applying for the title of Master. She can do that in 2019, and she plans to, and that will make her the first ever female Master Miller. For more information on the Deswan Windmill and the grains that they produce, you can visit our website, wwmt.com. Marcy?
Jessica, thank you. Well, firefighters remember their fallen brothers and sisters as they climb hundreds of steps.
Every year when I'm done, I'm excited for the next year. It's just a fantastic way to honor them.
Hear what they say is the hardest part of the challenge. Welcome back. 343. That's the number of firefighters who lost their lives on September 11, 2001.
This weekend in West Michigan marked the moment to honor those firefighters. A parade of a dozen fire trucks made their way from Galesburg to Kalamazoo with a steel beam from one of the twin towers recently acquired by the Battle Creek Fire Department leading the way. Once in Kalamazoo, hundreds of firefighters and community members took on a physical task to honor these fallen heroes.
We're climbing 110 stories of stairs, climbing up, climbing down, kind of completing their journey for them because they couldn't do it.
Those who participate say the climb is just as grueling emotionally.
We're all brothers, and we stand behind each other.
Every year when I'm done, I'm excited for the next year. It's just a fantastic way to honor them.
Organizers tell us they raised nearly $17,000 Sunday. The money goes to the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation.
It's one of the most notable unsolved murders of this century. This year marks 20 years since the death of John Benet Ramsey, and for the first time ever, her brother is speaking out.
There's a lot of debate about where you were when that 911 call was made.
Oh my God! Once considered a suspect, Burke Ramsey sits down for an exclusive interview with Dr. Phil. More on what he has to say about the murder of his sister, including why he's now breaking his silence.
I'm more likely to get struck by lightning than get hit by a fish falling from the sky.
But that is exactly what happened. How a falling fish hit this woman. Today, the Chinese and Russian navies are launching 8 days of war games in the South China Sea. This is a sign of growing cooperation between the two countries' armed forces. China's military says the Joint Sea 2016 tasks will include defensive and rescue drills, anti-submarine exercises, and the simulated seizure of an enemy island. Exercises will include surface ships, submarines, and helicopters, along with marine and armored vehicles.
In the next 2 weeks, Tesla will update the autopilot software on its cars. The company says the new software would have prevented a deadly crash in Florida 4 months ago. That's when a driver slammed into a tractor trailer that his autopilot did not identify. Tesla says the new system will rely more on radar instead of on cameras. That's because traditional cameras may not work well in some lighting conditions. The company came under 2 federal investigations following that crash.
This year marks 20 years since the death of 6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey. Today we'll hear from the one person who has yet to speak out about her death, her brother Burke. News Channel 3's Mara Thompson live in studio with why he says he's finally talking to the media. Mara.
Kirk, even 20 years later, JonBenet Ramsey's murder remains one of the most talked about unsolved crimes. Now, for the first time, he's sitting down with a one-on-one interview with Dr. Phil. It's something you will only see here on News Channel 3. As the only person in the home besides their parents at the time of JonBenet's death, it was often speculated that Burke may have had something to do with it. Burke, who was 9 at the time, remained in his room before and after JonBenet's body was found in the family's Colorado home. Burke and his parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, have never been charged in the case. In an exclusive interview with Dr. Phil, Burke says that constant media attention when he was so young is what caused him to stay quiet for so long.
Seeing that as a little kid is just kind of a chaotic nightmare. So I was pretty skeptical of any sort of media. It just made me a very private person. As to why I'm doing it now, it's the 20th anniversary and there's apparently still a lot of attention around it.
On today's season premiere of Dr. Phil, Burke opens up about what happened the night his sister died and how he learned of her death. The interview is actually 3 parts and also reveals never-before-seen tapes of Burke's police interview. And of course, Dr. Phil asked the question many want to hear the answer to: did you kill your sister? You can catch part 1 of the interview right here on News Channel 3 at 4 p.m. Reporting live in the studio, Mara Thompson, News Channel 3.
Yeah, Mara, thanks. It's a great afternoon lineup. You got the talk at 2 p.m., Steve Harvey, 3 p.m., Dr. Phil, 4, of course, News Channel 3, live at 5 at the traditional time at 5 p.m. Hey, around 5 p.m., sunshine, 78 degrees. A little bit warmer tomorrow with the chance for a shower at the end of the day on Tuesday. We're going to dial up hour by hour for you in a moment. Wednesday, we're cooler. Thunderstorms, though, front and center, especially Wednesday morning. We have specific rainfall amounts Tuesday through Wednesday in a moment. How about this? You're already thinking about lunch, 11 a.m. Maybe you got the stomach grumblings, right? 68, 11 a.m. Lunchtime officially 72, 12 o'clock. Moment by moment, we roll you through what is an exceptional Monday afternoon, 76, 3 p.m. and close to 80 degrees for 5 p.m., which should be an easy evening commute, right? Okay, hour by hour, some new model information here. Let's run you through it. We have lower 70s, Kalamazoo, 3 Rivers, 12 o'clock, nothing but sunshine. All right, a little bit of cumulus cloud action. That's reasonable. 3 p.m., 76 Kalamazoo, 77 Allegan. And, well, evening drive, here we go. Upper 70s, mid 70s at the lakeshore, so slightly cooler at the lakeshore later today. Tonight, we've got no problems, especially prior to midnight. Now, after midnight, we will welcome in a little bit of cloud cover, hour by hour, handling that very well. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Let's talk about the chance for some showers during the day tomorrow. A few of them near Oceana County, 10 a.m. Manistee National Forest, sort of cruising near and north of I-96. Then a better chance for rain Tuesday evening. Here's a sign thereof. Rain heavy north side, Ottawa County. That was 8 p.m. Tuesday. We have a wonderful viewer photo. Thanks to you, our lovely viewers. I'll show you that in a moment. Your headlines, though, sunshine today, upper 70s. Noticeably warmer than Sunday. A lot of breezes today as well. The chance for a shower tomorrow, end of the day, north of Kalamazoo. And your Wednesday, well, up to about 1/4 inch of rain. That does include Tuesday night, lower 70s, end of the day on Wednesday. Well, sunrise still about an hour and a half away or so. So, dry streets, dark at Battle Creek, but looking great. Take you south of Battle Creek, just a moment anyway, where it is 55 degrees in Sturgis on the Michigan-Indiana line. Southeast winds 5 miles per hour. Lots of 50s throughout West Michigan. All right, couple of exceptions here. Charlotte, Eaton County, you're at 49. The capital, Lansing, right now 55. Sweeps, live Doppler radar sweeping around and around, and simply we are dry. Your bus stop looking great. All right, admittedly a little cool at your neighborhood bus stop, driveways, sidewalks, those kinds of things, right? 55 at your neighborhood bus stop, 78 at the end of your school day. Hope it's a lovely one to teachers, students, and staff. This absolutely is lovely. We're looking at the Yankee Springs rec area, Middleville, Berry County, thanks to RJ Soul over the weekend. RJ, thank you. And now we're thanking Mother Nature for a lovely Monday forecast. Here it is, sunshine 78. How about your winds, though? Be coming from the southwest, 25 miles per hour. Tonight, comfortable, 58. Yeah, we'll take it for a Monday night. And we take you now to your Old National Bank 7-day forecast. Thursday feels like the end of September. A lot of sun, though. We have 40s, couple of mornings here, Thursday morning, Friday morning, and a little bit of rain end of the day Friday. Some thunderstorms to start your weekend.
Fittingly, the end of September. We're almost halfway through with this month already. Is that possible?
It seems strange, but it goes quickly this time of year.
Let's not rush this thing.
I'm sorry.
You can go slower. It's okay.
There you go. Jeff, thank you. Well, you could say an Ohio woman has the best, if not the most out of the ordinary catching fish story ever.
Within a few seconds, I was slammed in the face with something. I think it might have been head, face, and neck because I smelled so bad afterwards.
Lisa Labrie was walking to a Labor Day boot camp when she was hit by a falling fish. The massive catfish, over a foot long, weighed about 5 pounds. Lisa says at first she was understandably freaked out.
I immediately freaked out and fell to the ground. I'm more likely to get struck by lightning than get hit by a fish falling from the sky.
Now, as for where that fish came from, a few friends spotted a bird flying away right after the fish fell, probably a little upset that it just lost its lunch.
At least you know where it came from. Otherwise, you'd really wonder.
Yeah, definitely. If catfish just fallen from the sky, I wonder if the workout went on after that.
It's a good question.
Kudos to her if it did. Well, we have a warning for you as you head into the flu season for kids and medication. Why what you're using right now to dose it out may not be healthy for your child.
Plus, a new school hoping to reach video game loving students. Why some say this virtual school could also keep kids from dropping out.
When you see breaking news happen, call the News Channel 3 Breaking News Hotline at 1-800-875-3333 or email us breakingnews3@wwmt.com.
In this morning's health headlines, a caution for youngsters heading onto the soccer field and are parents making mistakes when it comes to dispensing medicine for children. Marley Hall has some of the day's top health stories.
A new study in the journal Pediatrics suggests 85% of parents are making errors when giving liquid medicine to children. Researchers found most errors involved overdosing and that dosing cups are linked to more errors compared to oral syringes. They say using regular kitchen spoons also contributes to mistakes. Nationwide Children's Hospital reports a dramatic rise in soccer-related injuries among kids 7 to 17. Researchers found about 300 children are treated every day in the ER. They looked at 25 years worth of data and found sprains, strains, and fractures were the most common injuries and that the rate of concussions significantly increased. Doctors advise women who've had gastric bypass surgery to wait 18 months before trying to become pregnant. New data indicates women who've had the weight loss surgery are prone to nutrient deficiencies and risk giving birth to small babies. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Marley Hall, CBS News, New York.
A new virtual school in Japan is trying to engage students and give them hopefully interacting with each other. It's called N High School, a fully accredited virtual high school created by Japanese tech companies hoping to identify, educate, and develop unique talent. It offers classes on smartphones and apps and even has a virtual classroom. The school is hoping to reach more than 500,000 students that research shows are disillusioned with traditional school.
And Marcy, thank you. Almost 5:57 on the clock. You know, we always hope you're on time. And time for your lakeshore weather, including 58 in South Haven. Southerly wind, 3 miles per hour. Humidity about 90%. Okay, north of South Haven, Holland and beyond, we have rip currents today. In fact, all the way through early Tuesday morning, alongside waves as big as 5 feet, if not a little bit bigger than that. The driver behind those rip currents, winds south-southwest 15 to 25 knots. Remember, that converts to about 30 miles per hour. So rocky at the Lakeshore Holland and northward. Your water temperature is 68 to about 72 degrees. You know, parts of West Michigan are in the 40s right now. Kirk will show you where live at 6.
The sashes have been steamed, the hair teased, and the routines polished. Now there's a new Miss America.
And the new Miss America is Miss Arkansas.
Miss Arkansas, Savvy Shields, won the Miss America pageant last night in Atlantic City. She topped a field of 52 contestants to take the crown. The health of Hillary Clinton is being questioned this morning. The presidential candidate caught on camera stumbling after a 9/11 event, suffering from pneumonia, while her rival and his supporters are reportedly being told to keep quiet.
And time right now, 5:57. We're stepping away. First, here's a live look outside over Kalamazoo. News Channel 3 Live at 6 is next.